They say mirrors show you who you are, but in a particular barber shop in Benvista City, a mirror could show something else. Something no one should ever see. That's why, for years, there was only one rule at Trim Point Barber Shop. You can cut your hair, but you must never look at a mirror, not while in the salon. And people obey this rule, not questioning the reason behind it, because as far as they are concerned, only the quality they get matters. And this continued until the day, well, hold on, let's get into the story proper. Long before Trim Point Barber Shop, Z was just a poor boy from Kurudu slum. His real name was ZJ. Life had never been kind to him. Z was the only child of his parents. He lost his mother to a simple fever when he was just 10. His father was an alcoholic who disappeared more than he showed up. Z learned to survive by selling sachet water on the road. He slept under bridges, begged for food, and ran from the place more times than he could count. But through it all, he had one friend, Tivo. Tivo was older and sharper. They shared food, protected each other, and always dreamed of a better life. One day, Z, we'll make it big, Tivo would say. This street life won't be forever. But things didn't get better. In fact, they got worse. Then one day, Tivo disappeared. 3 months passed, no trace of Tivo. Z was heartbroken and lonely. He thought the street has taken his only friend. Then one night, Tivo returned. He looked transformed. New clothes, clean and expensive sneakers, fresh haircuts, and money, more than Z had ever seen. I found the way, Tivo said quietly. No more hunger, no more begging. But it's not for everybody. You have to be ready. Z didn't ask questions. He just followed. They drove far out of town in a luxury jeep. The compound they entered had high walls and heavy silence. Inside a big hall, men in black robes stood, surrounded by several lit red candles as the only illumination in the big room. At the center stood a man with no shoes and a cold voice. They called him the custodian. You want success? The man asked. You will have that and much more, but you must abide by the rules. Z was scared, but he nodded. You open a barber shop, the man continued. Clients will come. You will never lack again, but there is one major rule. Never allow anyone to look into the mirror. If anyone does, there will be dire consequences. What consequences? Z asked in a shaky voice. Your success ends and your mind will break, the custodian replied, his voice as cold as an ancient grave. Z agreed. He thought he could handle it. That night, a ritual was performed using his hair, blood, and an ash from an old burnt mirror frame. After the rituals, he drove back with his friend in deep silence, each buried in their own thoughts. When Z woke up the next morning, a barber shop was waiting for him. Fully set up, fully paid for. All he had to do was barb hair. The shop was called Trim Point. It looked normal to the ordinary eye, But what people didn't know is what was taken from them after each haircut: their destinies and good fortune. Z never had to advertise. Customers just came, rich ones too, politicians, celebrities, big men, and he gave them what they all wanted: a perfect cut. None compares to him in the whole area. But everyone knew the rule: no mirrors, just come in, barb your hair, and go. Most didn't even question it. Some felt uneasy and just kept quiet. A woman once tried to check her selfie camera. Her phone froze. Another man reached for a mirror from his bag. The power in the shop went off instantly. Z continued his business unmoved. With his business flourishing, Z transformed. Wealth, fame, influence, he had it all. He became the talk of the town. If you haven't gotten a haircut at trim point, then you are not a big boy. But deep inside, he was burdened. He felt guilty about what he was doing, but he dare not return to his former life. Besides, he knows what consequences await him if he falters. Some nights, he heard whispers from the floor. Other times, he saw shadows moving where no one stood. But he stayed quiet, and everything continued as it is, until the day Renz walked in. Renz was tall, handsome, fresh from abroad, and full of confidence. "Quick fade," he said, sitting in the chair. "I've got a photo shoot in 2 hours." Z nodded and got to work. As always, the haircut was clean and sharp. But when Renz stood up, he frowned. "You don't have a mirror?" he asked. Z froze. "We don't use mirrors here. Please just trust the cut." "Excuse me?" Renz laughed. "How can I not check my look?" He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small key holder with a shiny reflective surface. He looked into it, and at that moment, everything changed. Z let out a loud cry. His hands shook. His eyes widened in terror. "What have you done?" "I said no mirrors," he shouted. "Yeah, no mirrors. And I didn't use one, just a reflective object, bro," Renz quipped. "You've destroyed everything," Z screamed. He stumbled backwards, knocking over chairs and clippers. His breathing changed. His voice cracked. Then he began to pace the room like a madman, holding his head. "They are very angry with me now. They are going to hurt me." People outside ran to the door. Then suddenly, Z shouted again and bolted out of the shop barefooted, screaming and tearing at his clothes. He ran down the street, totally berserk. Z was found 2 days later by a canal, dirty, shaking, and talking to himself incoherently. He was taken to a psychiatric home. He didn't speak for days. Then, one night, during a heavy storm, he whispered to a young volunteer named Ara. "The shop, their souls are trapped there, under the floor. I can still hear them." Ara didn't ignore him. She believed something spiritual was wrong. "Whose souls?" she asked gently. "All those that have ever barbed in the shop. They see me as the actual barber, but in fact, I'm not. A superior being takes over whenever I barb people's hair, and in exchange, takes their destinies. Each destiny taken means more fame, influence, and wealth for me. That is why nobody is allowed to look at a mirror during or after the haircut, because it will reveal who the real barber is and what is being taken from them," Z explained quietly. Then suddenly, he burst into an uncontrollable laughter. Ara was shocked at the revelations, but she didn't ponder over them. Action is needed, and quickly too. She narrated her conversation with Z to a superior at the hospital, and with due permission, brought her church's prayer team. They broke into the shop, dug up the floor. There, they found jars of hair and an effigy that has the form of a wild cat. They prayed, they destroyed everything, and just like that, Z recovered his senses like they never left. He cried for a long time. Then he told the full story to all. He repented of his atrocities and started all over again, a new man. Z became an evangelist, thankful to God for the second chance given to him. He spread the gospel of truth around. Fast success has a price. Don't trade your soul for shiny things. It's never worth it. Only God can give riches without pain and repercussions. He doesn't fail to mention this during his evangelism, using himself as a living example. As for the barber shop, it remained locked, empty and dusty. But some say, if you pass by late at night, you will hear clippers buzzing. No one knows how true these tales are, but hopefully it might just be a figment of their imaginations. So, when next you enter a barber shop with some random rules, be careful, because there may be more to it than meets the ordinary eyes. If this story gave you the chills or made you think twice about chasing success at any cost, kindly subscribe for more unforgettable African stories. Comment below. Would you have insisted on looking at a mirror? Like this video to support more stories like this one, and share it with someone who needs to hear this.